Hello, and welcome back to Satisfactory. In our last episode, we hemmed and hawed and switched around a little bit, some of the smelting stuff. And as you can see, I'm weirdly over here by the space elevator, and I'll show you why in just a moment. But first, we need to pick a recipe, or a hard drive reward, I guess, technically. Again, I'm still not going to do the expanded pocket dimension until I clear out the recipes, because there's still, I believe, one more recipe that I'm looking for. Maybe. Yes, the alternate turbo rigger motor that I still don't have access to. So I'm just going to pick one of these. I don't really care which one. I'm not going to use either. And we'll go ahead and start that research. Plus, I'm kind of completionist enough that I would want to have all the optional recipes as well. Let's double check, rather, that rigger motor recipe just to make sure that it, in fact, or I guess we can't because we need heavy modular frames. Okay, well, let's do what I was going to show you guys that I designed first, and then I'll go grab some of those, and then we can look for that recipe. So, I'm working on a plan for a double bus, centered on two adjacent foundations, and let's say I needed to pull 3 items off of the wrong side bus, like this, to build over here someplace. This is what I came up with. So if I leave a gap here in the middle, and this is at level 3, if I leave a gap here in the middle, then I can pass the items underneath the belts and that are here in the bus. And doing this on both, by the way, so actually there would be a belt here as well, just for completion. So level 1 is, or level 2, I haven't decided which one. I put it one way and then I put it the other way. Level 1 or level 2 would be the hypertubes. The other one would be empty. Level 3 would be empty for the pass-through. And then, so what I have here is all 3 items are coming down. Now this, of course, doesn't help for the item that's on level 4. But all 3 items are coming down to level 3. Passing through and then going up again. Well, 2 of the 3 are going up again to higher levels so that they can be passed into whatever assembly is on this side of the bus. And I think this will just work. Now, ideally, I'm going to build these things so that we don't have to pass very much through. But no matter what, this is 3 out of a possible 4. So no matter what, we should be able to pull this off. And then even so, you know, I could split off a 4th one, perhaps even center here, if it fits properly. Let's see if I can, actually, while we're doing this kind of live. But nevertheless, let's see. Let's go here. I think it's there. Yes. And then just build it up. And onto the 4th one. Yep. Take this off here. So that's pretend, since I didn't break the belt, splitting off at that one. And nothing hits it. And that even lets us split off all 4 items, the 4th one being on there. The thing that it doesn't necessarily work for is, what if this is up higher? I should test. What if it's at that height, for example? There's not a belt up there, but it doesn't matter. If I wanted to split off at there, yeah, it's going to hit. So that only works for the 4th item if it's not on levels 5 and 6. Yeah, if it's not on levels 5 and 6. If it's higher, it's fine because it can just go straight out and into here, although it needs to be one higher, I guess. Here. And then there. So if it's higher, that's fine. It just goes straight into the split off. But if it's lower, if it's 5 and 6, it can't work if I'm bringing in multiple items here. If it's 5 and 6, it has to go straight across. Well, actually it does work. If it's 5 or 6, it has to go straight across, and these just go up higher. That'll work. So either way, I think this will work. I'm going to think about it some more before we actually start building it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about this design. And like I said, I'm going to try and avoid passing through more than 1 or 2 items from the opposite bus, but if I need to, this will let me get 3 of them across without anything crazy. And in fact, you could split off again right here on one of these belts, pass it down through and back up again, up higher and over to this. So in fact, you could do all 4 of them if you really needed to. But I hope this makes sense. And then obviously these get taken out and stuff, but I put them there so I could build the thing. So the only issue with this is passing through whatever item is on belt height number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because the lifts can't come down from 4 to 3, there's no way to pass the item on belt number 4 over. So that may cause me to not include anything on belt number 4, depending if I decide to build on both sides of the bus or not. Or to only put the things on belt number 4 that are only going to be needed on that side of the bus. So we'll have to think about that a little bit more, and I've started working on that a little bit, on what should be on what side of the bus. But this would make the bus be 18 plus the initial 3, so 21 high, which is a little bit shorter than this, but it's still a lot easier to work with than going up to 36, which would be way up there in the sky someplace. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys that, because I worked on that also between the episodes. And then I wanted to come over here, because I did a thing. And the thing that I did was I ripped up all of the copper and Caterium smelting that was over here, dumped it all into 4 big storage boxes here, because there's a little more than 1 of each, basically. I think they end about here, so it's a little more than 1 of each. And then just did this quick and dirty kind of belt spaghetti-ish thing, bringing them up back and attached to the bus. If we need more stuff, I did save all the ore and ingots that were in all the machines here in these 2 boxes. So I do have some ingots that I could smelt, and some ingots that I could construct, and some ore that I could smelt. If I really need to, I could do it over there or something. But then I worked on... Oh, this can go away. This was just here for center marking. Then I worked on this, which is the copper sheets. And this is really nicely centered. So, again, imagine bus here for the water specifically. Walkway here. And then this is... And then kind of the same thing over here, or at least space for a bus here, even though probably not going to use it. And then this is our merger line. 3... foundations for the refineries. Our splitter line is going to split in both directions. I could have done this the opposite too, with the splitters on the outside and mergers in the middle. It doesn't really matter. It's the same number of items coming in and out, so there wasn't a compression issue or a decompression issue. The difference is this way I only have to run pipes down the middle. Because copper sheets, steamed copper sheets are only water and copper in, or water and copper in, but only sheets out. So this way I only had to run 1 pipe down the middle instead of 2. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Whether the pipe is at level 0 here, and the splitters are up higher, or the splitters are up, the splitters are at level 0 and the pipes are up higher, I haven't decided yet. It doesn't really horribly matter. I guess it's probably mostly just whichever looks nicest. And then here would be the bus area. The bus line would be here. And this would be the pass-through line. So you can see that kind of lines up with this here, this opening here. So this would be where copper ingots are going to pass through right about here, I think, or so. Oh, maybe it's here. Hopefully it's not there. I may need to move all that stuff 1 more block that way. But they'll pass through somewhere here and then come down, and then they'll go into the bus and they'll split, and some of them will come down here to go into this, and some of them will go into assemblers, making the fused wire and the fused whatever we're making. Let's see, fused wire and use quick wire. So the copper and Caterium will go into both of those then, where those are being made. And which those would be basically right here, and then iron plates and steel plates and steel rods and whatnot down further. So that's kind of my idea, my thought. So let's go upstairs now. Sorry, I stopped to take a drink of water, and then I couldn't run because I needed to turn. And I couldn't do that with one hand. So, run into the pipe. Perfect. Let's go grab this. Yeah, I'm going to move this whole assembly again. One more block that way. But I can do that. I can just save the space for it and move that later. Alright, so why am I not getting the turbo motor that I want? I didn't go get those frames either. Dang it. Okay, let's do a hard drive again. And let me, I'll pause while I run down there. Alrighty, and I'm back. So, yeah, I'll move all this stuff down. So here we have, these were copper alloy ingots. Here we have, I'm looking at my spreadsheet that I showed off last time? Time before? There it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 6.66, so that's perfect. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, making Caterium ingots. We need 5.1. That's perfect. And the next thing I was going to start with is the, I believe, at least, the aluminum ingots. Does these take in... No. Was I going to do aluminum next? Or was I going to do iron next? I don't think it horribly matters. Well, I'm going to do aluminum next. So actually, this isn't what I want for aluminum. What I need for aluminum is just a smelter, I think. Unless I'm forgetting something, in which case I'll remember it at some point later. Yeah, pure aluminum. So we're going to do just pure aluminum here, and we're going to ship the silica that's made earlier in the process that way to go into, to be prioritized. And we're actually going to have a few different priority buffers to be prioritized as input for the, what's it called? For the bus. Yeah, the bus. That's what it's called. Okay, so for these, for the pure aluminum ingots, we need 3.33 of these. That means 4. And I believe this is the correct space here. One way to find out, of course, is to build up the mergers 3 levels, and then go here and see that it lines up correctly. And it does. I could have done the mass deconstruct. That would have been smart. And then we grab a splitter here, and we do 1, 2, 3. It should be correct. And this will be where the, nope, that one. Yep, that is correct. And this will be where the other, let's see, this is aluminum. This will be where the aluminum scrap comes in. This is right here in this line. Now, wait a minute. If we have 3.33, so 4 effectively, making pure aluminum ingots, we need 1.33 refineries making the aluminum scrap. So we could potentially grab a refinery here and output this correctly. Easier said than done, of course. 1, 2, 3, I think. Nope, one more. Refineries are a little weird. Nope, refinery. Because refineries actually need, based on the way that the lines work, 4 spaces. So, 1, 2, 3. Oh, jeez. Because of the way the hitbox is. The hitbox is much tighter on these. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope. And then this isn't lined up correctly, but it's spaced correctly at least. That actually might be off by 1. If we look at the way that I did the refineries over here. No, actually, that is where I had it. So, depending on how this lines up, I may actually shift these in or out a little bit, or probably mostly in a little bit. But if I connect 2 of these, I should be able to say, well, let's run each one at 67% because we need 1.33. Let's see, that would be aluminum scrap. So if you run this at 67%, not 97, 67, that's going to produce 241.2. And if I run each of these at, let's see, 3.33 is, no, 9, 10, yeah. 10 thirds. Can I evenly, well, I should be able to divide. 3.33 divided by 2 is 1.67. So 1.67 between 2 of them. So that's 0.84. 84%. So now it's going to consume 84% of 144. Let me get out a calculator, I suppose. 0.84 times 144, I think is what it was. That's 121. And this is producing 241, which is basically half. So that would actually work perfectly. I could take each one of these and output them, split them evenly between each pair of smelters here, and that would be a good setup. So if I'm going to do that, instead of having, well, the splitters still need to be there. Not really. Actually, no, the splitters wouldn't need to be here at all. Where I could put the splitters, though, or merger, rather. No, splitter, is here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. If that lines up straight, and it doesn't. So in that case, I would need to also introduce some space in between all of these, which I think is worth it to not have to have fewer items on the bus. 1, wait. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think one more. Perfect. So do like that, and then see if I can eyeball this one. Like that. So we'll just do 2 of those. Exactly like... Nope, not exactly. Oh, yes, exactly like that. This just gets moved. Refinery. This gets moved so that the output is centered on that. And then I need to also try and figure out how to see this. Alright. Jump, bounce. One, 2, 3, 4, I hope. And then we do this one here, that one there, and that is perfect. Alright, so that's the plan. Whether that goes up or not, and whether the output of the stuff, the water, goes up or not. So let's see if I can figure out the spacing here. Well, these can be right next to each other. There's no reason why that can't be. And then this goes there, I think. Except that I didn't put it down right. Try that again, Wally. There. Goes there. And I'm, of course, just doing this with the Mark 1 belts, like always. And then, because iron plates are aplenty. And this goes... I think it's there. Yes. And then, finally, this refinery would go here. Perfect. So that way we have exactly 2 to 4, which is 1.33 to 3.33. And then before that comes in, that needs the alumina solution and the petroleum coke. The alumina solution we need 4 refineries for. Now I want to put this one, I think, probably back out here. I should probably... Yes, I should put... Oh yeah, splitter, that's right. 1, 2, 3, I think. What does the alumina solution look like again? Let's look at that one again. Alumina solution. That's what outputs the silica. Takes in the bauxite ore, water in, then the fluid out. So if I do this right, I could potentially put the fluid here on some level without crisscrossing the pipes, or without bringing the pipes out, coming back in. I could also, which we did in the temporary setup, build this to where the silica and the coke both go at on the same level. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me take this out for a moment. Because actually, this could be done, if done properly, this could be done with a merger. Because we need 4 of these to 2 of those refineries. And this might even result in a bit more space between even these and then those, like using up more of the vertical space here just to make it work out properly here. So that would be there. Let me make sure the spacing is correct. At least the lateral spacing, the linear spacing. Yep, that's correct. So we need 4 of these, making the alumina solution. And I'm out of motors, and I'm out of reinforced beams. So I'm not going to make 4 of them right now. I'll do that after we're done. In which case, this is slightly offset here, but I think we can do it okay. I think it needs to be right here. It's got to be a splitter. I think it's right there. Oops. And that one was incorrect, but that one is correct, so that's fine. Here. Except that I'm not at all lined up correctly. Take that out. Take that one out. But we at least have the right position here. And I can use that to my advantage. There. Okay. So that is positioned correctly. And again, we're just talking linear space here. So this bauxite belt comes almost perfectly in here. Like, surprisingly so. To the point where I could potentially use that output, which would run it straight down the center of this and almost perfectly into there. That's pretty creepy. It's close. I'll just have to do a little curve and then a little curve. Maybe I'll even keep that on the level. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Okay, so that was bauxite. The next thing we need to do is pure iron ingots. I think. Do I want iron? Yeah, I think I want the iron next. So those are made in a refinery as well. They need water, and we don't have the motors for the refinery. So I'm going to take out this one so that I can at least blueprint this a little bit. We need to output, or actually I think I'm going to input here. So we'll do a splitter right here, centered in the block, in the foundation block. And then we'll grab a refinery, and I'm going to reverse this direction here and put it going in this direction. And there, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with the way the refineries work, we'll have a well, let's see, actually, before I do this. We have, how many was it? 5 of these. Solid steel ingots, we need 8. Yeah, I think it's worth it to just do a merger, but I'm not going to bring them out onto the bus. I'm actually going to... I did also put this down backwards. Dang it. Okay, try that again, Wally. This goes... I think it's there without trying it too much. And then I'm going to take this just to test it. Yep, that is correct. Even though it's not aligned with the right output. or input. But it's the correct spacing. Because, yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oops. Oopsie. Well, is it? Alright. Try it again. Let's see. Here. No. There. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so like the center of support here is almost perfectly centered in this foundation, which matches this. No, not that one. That matches the copper ones because those are the ones that are actually centered. The rest of these aren't at all. So the iron ore will come in here. It'll get watered and produce iron ingots. The iron ingots can come into a merger that would be, oopsie, that would be here. But I'm actually going to point that direction, like that. And then those will go into a splitter that would be, at least I think, there. Which will then go into, no, it's probably not going to work, but which will then go into a foundry making the steel ingots. Let's see. You're going to go, yeah, 1, 2, dang it. I wish this was easier. I really do. 1, 2, 3. And then I want to do in line with this, but in line with one of these. I think that's how they looked. I think the fourth space would have been too far away. I guess we could make sure. I think that's how they looked best when we did the copper ones. Using that one as a marker. Yeah, see there's a gap there then. So we definitely want to have these right there. That's perfect. What time is it? It is long since time for another ma'am visit. And I never did go and look for that recipe. Ah, because there it is. Turbo rigger motor. I'm also going to take this turbo fuel recipe, but turbo rigger motor we actually do want. I'm going to go ahead and take that one, and we'll start another hard drive. I think I gathered, I could check the map again, but I think I gathered all but about 8 or so of the alternate recipes. Or all the hard drives, I should say. Let me see. Yeah, 4 of them are not obtainable. They use items that aren't in the game yet, presumably tier 8. Oh, there's more than 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if I need to, I can go get those last 12 hard drives. Most of them are up on the bauxite level, but a couple of them are off on the which is up here. There's one way out here on this little arm, but it's connected here. So most of them are up here, but there are 3 of them that I didn't get over here because they take like supercomputers and stuff that we haven't actually made yet. And turbo motors, yeah, supercomputers and turbo motors. They've been actually made yet. So once we kind of have the base finished, I could go and get those 3 as well, if nothing else, to optimize the amount of inventory space that I have available to me. Okay, so let's go ahead and put down, we needed 8. I lost my spreadsheet, sorry. 8. 8.02. Dang it, we need 9. That's 3. 4. And these aren't going to fit. 5. Because I'm going to run into the bus. And I don't think I want to move the bus any further out. Well, that's 6. So that means I could go out a little bit more, but I can't go out to 9. That means I need a double row. If I... yeah, because... let's see. 1, 2... Almost space there? Yeah, I guess so. 1, 2, 3... about 4 of them. Yeah, 4 of them take up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would need to go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. That would only accommodate 8. So that means I would have to go... I'll have to do a second row, which is kind of a bummer, but it'll be fine. So in that case, the iron ingots do need to come out here onto a bus that's out. Actually, the bus is going to be on in this row. I'm going to move the whole thing over one and actually remove this, so we're not running into too much of the rocks here. I'll have to go up and over the rocks a little bit. But we're not going to use the bottom, at least single belt. Probably the bottom 2. Start on level 3. So, yeah. Hey, doggo. So, we're going to have to build more foundations out here, which is unfortunate, but that's the way things go. And that'll be for steel. Oopsie. And then for limestone first. And then finally quartz. So I probably will just use that limestone exclusively and rip that one that's over there out. Yeah, so limestone will bring in here. So let's see. Yeah, run away. Run away. Let's do a merger here. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do another. If you need 8.02, I may offset this one just a bit. Actually, I messed that up completely. Merger goes here. 1, 2, 3. And then offset this one like this, since they're a offset arrangement. 2, 3. And have 5 in this row and 4 in that one, since I need to have 9. The other option is, of course, to not worry about it and make 8 and be starving a little bit on steel. But no, that's too far. 1 too far. Okay, let's do the lazy method of alignment here. Do that one like that. This one like this. And then this one goes there. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to take that out, though, because I don't want them there and not knowing what needs to happen. So that's 1, 2. And I don't have enough concrete. Wow, I ran out of concrete, of all things. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll cover that. And then we'll set up the limestone and the quartz. Yeah, I think probably both quartz products, both silica and... wow, what's it called? Both silica and the quartz crystals up here. And then that will probably... that'll take care of at least the rough layout of the smelting area. Then, of course, I got to hook all this up. Oh, I know what else I wanted to show or talk about. So, since the foundries all have their connections here in the back. Last thing before we go. See, this is a splitter. It's going to go like that. And let's say we wanted to have lifts here. And let's say we were going to have power poles right here. I don't have any concrete for power poles. Okay, give me one of these. So I can have the concrete from it. Power pole there. And if we had a power pole there and a power pole out, where do you go? Out here somewhere. We'll just say right there. Then that's going to, oopsie. That's going to clip through the lift. And if we're going to use the lifts here, we can't have that happen. So instead, I think what I'll do, and even if I have to make a little bit extra space there, instead what I'll do is I'll put the power poles out here. Yeah, I'm going to make some extra space, I think, to put the power poles in. If I do that. Which is a bummer, because I already laid this out. Yeah, because we're going to have 2 spaces here for power poles then. But pretend that this one is here. Or rather, it's over here. Yeah. Then we put the power pole here and run the power between the splitters and into the machines. That's my thought for how to alleviate it. The problem is that's not going to help a whole lot either unless I do a power pole for every single machine, which I may just have to do. We'll have to figure that out. But that's a job for, well, I'll probably do it in between the episodes. But that's a job for later. So that's where we're going to leave it today. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.